Hi, lovelies, and welcome back to Wilder Woman. Corey here, and today I actually have 5 great Wiccan beginner books that I wanted to share with you all. These are books, some of them have carried me through several years of my journey, so I wanted to just kind of bring them out in the open and have a little witchy chit chat and share with you my thoughts and feelings about these books. So the first one that I have for you is Scott Cunningham's Wicca, A Guide for the Solitary Practitioner. Now, this is an older cover. I believe it has been updated since I picked this up several years ago. It's pretty frayed, as you can see. This book has been highly abused, but it is very loved. Scott's work is very dear to me because it provided a really solid foundation for me for my Wiccan practice. And so this is also kind of usually the standard go-to when people have a recommendation for a first book. So that's why I wanted to bring this up. It covers everything. It covers the tools, altars, all of the Sabbats, has a fantastic dedication ritual that I myself used to dedicate myself in 2000, when I actually finally did do a dedication to this pathway. Talks about magic, deities, gives quite a few recipes and rituals in here to the back. Many of these I've used several times. He talks about ritual design. A lot of his meditation I've started with. So this is just an all-around fantastic cover your basis introduction to Wicca. This is your Wicca 101 course, your year and a day right here. Now, getting a little bit more in depth, this is a more recent acquisition of mine. But this, I wish this had been around when I started. So this is Magical Power for Beginners. How to raise and send energy for spells that work. And this was written by the lovely and magnificent Deborah Lipp. Love her books. She's a Gardnerian witch, was initiated as a Gardnerian witch. And this book just covers the mechanics of magic and how to raise personal power, where that power comes from, channeling it. She's got lots of information on meditations because obviously that's where it starts. She talks about magical intention. Time and space. That's an important one that she covers in here. So this is just amazing book that really lays a good foundation for the mechanics of magic and spells and ritual and witchcraft in general. It's really good. This is another one that's near and dear to my heart. There are 2 of these, but this one to me is the big staple. Now, this was written by Janet and Stewart Farrar, and this is The Witch's Goddess. And this covers the goddess in all of her magnificent glory. Now, the first half of the book is dedicated to mythology specific to certain goddesses and in different pantheons. He's not specific. They are not specific to one certain pantheon. We covered Demeter and Persephone, Hecate is in here, Brigid, Epona, Aradia, Isis. And then towards the back we have basically an appendix of different goddesses of the world in different pantheons in alphabetical order. This book was pretty essential to me in the beginning when I started working with goddess energy and finding out which deities would help support that I should go to for support and different focuses that I was trying to, and goals I was trying to achieve. So there is a companion, there is the Witch's God. My nephew has it right now, so I can't show it to you, but it's green and has the green god on the cover, and it's laid out the exact same way. So, amazing book. If you're going to be working with deities, these two books, but this one especially, are ones that you're going to want to pick up. Even if you're just a myth buff, it's a good book. Now, the next one is Edain McCoy's Sabbats. You guys probably have seen this sitting on a shelf somewhere. In this, really, it's another one that I used to death, especially in the beginning. You can see it's pretty butchered too. Covers, activities, food, crafts, rituals, single rituals, group rituals for each and every Sabbath on the wheel of the year. All 8. Starting with Samhain. Yes, starting with Samhain. And even in the beginning, she talks about tools, making your own tools. She covers which cultures celebrate which Sabbats. So if you are wanting to follow a particular tradition or pantheon, kind of a good index to have. Elemental correspondences, making a candle wheel for Imbolc. Also got, outline, spell appendices. Just a really great overall informational tool for all of the Sabbats and following the wheel of the year. So when you go through and follow your first wheel of the year, having this information and these rituals on hand so that you don't necessarily have to worry about writing your own, because in the beginning, before you've really started going through celebrating the Sabbats and doing ritual on a regular basis, it's a little bit intimidating to write your own, although that is covered as well. But definitely nice to have a little template there to start with. And the last one, it's very similar to Scott's Wicca for the Solitary Practitioner book, but I really love this one, and this is the Witch's Craft by Grimassi. You can tell that this has also been butchered and loved over the years. I actually had the wonderful pleasure of meeting Mr. Grimassi, and he signed this for me. I actually picked this up I think the year I graduated. Yeah, I think I was just a couple months into college when I attended a meetup that he did at Starcrafts down in Ocean Beach in San Diego, and picked this book up and had him sign it. This book has also been a huge resource for me as far as correspondences, explanations of tools, going into a little bit of the history, and even talking about hereditary witchcraft, which is something that's, foreign to a lot of us Wiccan practitioners. We're the first of our line to actually follow this pathway, because Wicca itself is a very new religion. In fact, one of the gems of this book, in the back, there's several, or towards the end, there are several letters. Yes. From Doreen Valiente to Raven. And if you don't know, Doreen actually was initiated by Gerald Gardner and was a part of the original Gardnerian coven in England. And she is actually, it was at a speech that was the first time that anybody had heard the poem of the Wiccan Reed, and she actually was the one that recited it, and is actually, it's not known for certain whether or not she wrote it, but she's kind of been, you know, unofficially attributed as the writer of the Wiccan Reed. So those were very interesting letters, and definitely well worth the read. So definitely top 5 book recommendations for you loves. There are a ton of other great books out there. One book set that I wanted to mention that I don't have physical copies of because I have them all in digital format on my Kindle are Christopher Penczak's Temple of Witchcraft series. The Inner Temple, the Outer Temple, and the Shamanic Temple in particular, the first 3 in that series, they're amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. If you want to also dive a lot more into structure and mechanics, Chris does an excellent job of explaining it. So those would be another few books that I would recommend to you to start off with. And even if you're not starting off, these are really great reference books to have. I mean, there's a reason why I've kept these around, some of them 15 years, give or take, on my shelf. So definitely good ones to check out, okay? And that is it for this video. If you guys have any book recommendations that you have for me, or for other people starting out and wanting to get a good foundation of what Wicca is and the mechanics of witchcraft, leave them in the comments below. We'd love to hear about them. And I will catch you in my next video. Blessings.